Friends, we start with the 10th one, spiritual and material education. The Upanishad said those who are engaged in culture of science shall enter into darkest region of ignorance. There are two kinds of education, material and spiritual. Material education is called Jad Vidya. Jad means that which cannot move or matter. Spirit can move. Our body is a combination of spirit and matter. As long as spirit is there, our body is moving. For example, a man's coat and pants move as long as the man wears them. It appears that the coat and pants are moving on their own, but actually it is the body that is moving them. Similarly, this body is moving because the spirit soul is moving it. Another example is the motor car. The motor car is moving because the driver is moving it. Only a fool thinks that a motor car is moving on its own. In spite of wonderful mechanical arrangement, a motor car cannot move on its own. Since they are given only Jad Vidya, materialistic education, people think this material nature is working, moving and manifesting so many wonderful things automatically. When we are at the seaside, we see waves moving, but the waves are not moving automatically. The air is moving then, and something else is moving there. In this way, if you go all back to the ultimate cause, you will find Krishna the cause of all causes. That is the real education, to search out the ultimate cause. So the Ishwar says that those who are captivated by the material movements of material energy are worshipping nescience. In the modern civilization, there are big institutions for understanding technology, how a motor car or an airplane moves. They are studying how to manufacture so much machinery. But there is no educational institution for investigating how the spirit soul is moving. The actual mover is not being studied. Instead, they are studying the external movements of matter. When I lectured at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, I asked the students, where is the technology to study the soul, the mover of the body? They had no such technology. They could not answer satisfactorily because their education was simply Jada Vidya. The Ishwar says that those who engage in the advancement of such materialistic education will go to the darkest region of existence. Therefore, the present civilization is in a very dangerous position because there is no arrangement anywhere in the world for genuine spiritual education. In this way, human society is being pushed to the darkest region of existence. In a song, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has declared that materialist education is simply an expansion of Maya. The more we advance in materialistic education, the more our ability to understand God will be hampered. And at last, we will declare God is dead. This is all ignorance and darkness. So the materialists are certainly being pushed into darkness. But then there is another class, the so-called philosophers, mental speculators, religionists and yogis who are going into still greater darkness because they are defying Krishna. They are pretending to cultivate spiritual knowledge, but because they have no information of Krishna or God, their teachings are even more dangerous than those of outright materialists. Why? Because they are misleading people into thinking that they are giving real spiritual knowledge. The so-called yoga system that they are teaching is misleading people. Simply meditate and you will understand that you are God. Krishna will never meditated to become God. He was God from his very birth. When he was a 3-month-old baby, the Putna demon attacked him and Krishna sucked out her life air along with her breast milk. So Krishna was God from the very beginning. That is God. The nonsense so-called yogis teach you become still and silent and you will become God. How can I become silent? Is there any possibility of becoming silent? No, there is no such possibility. Become desireless and you will become God. How can I become desireless? These are all bluffs. We cannot be desireless, we cannot be silent, but our desires and activities can be purified. This is real knowledge. If you desire only to serve Krishna, this is purification of desire. Instead of trying to be still and silent, we should dovetail our activities in Krishna's service. As living entities, we have activities, desires and a loving propensity, but they are being misdirected. If we direct them into Krishna's service, that is perfection of education. We don't say that you should not become advanced in material education. You may, but at the same time, you should become Krishna conscious. This is our message. We don't say that you shouldn't manufacture motor cars. No, we say, alright, you have manufactured the motor cars. Now employ them in Krishna's service. That is our proposal. So education is required, but if it's simply materialistic, it is devoid of Krishna consciousness. It is very dangerous. This is the teaching of the Ishwar Upanishad.